Welcome. You're watching New Attitude, and I'm your host, Anastasia Rivers. I'm excited to have Cedelle Peterson here, my schoolmate, and she's also a retired teacher, a cultural bearer. Welcome, Cedelle.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Again. I just enjoyed the last time Cedelle was here, and this is Virgin Island History Month, March, and what better time to have you back on to share some of the culture and stories that you have with Carrizo. Mm-hmm. Tell us how Carrizo originated.
Well, long ago in the sugarcane fields, this is like way back in the 1600s, 16 and 1700s, when the enslaved Africans came to our island and many other islands, and they would be in the sugarcane field, especially the women. The women were the singers. Mm-hmm. Those were the instrument, the voice of the women. And they would sing, but they would sing and send messages so that the master would know what was going on. So that's why we have it today as Carrizo. Carrizo. But long ago it was Carrizo. Today it's Calypso.
Oh, so you're saying that Carrizo is origin from Calypso. Mm-hmm.
It's like
still telling stories.
Yes, all songs tell stories, but the type of stories that were told in Carrizo was things that happened long ago. For example, in the sugarcane field, you see the women, them gossiping. You know, when women get together, they will talk about each other. They will create songs about each other. That was one part of Carrizo. Then we had the ones where they would talk about songs of long ago. They would sing. And then storytelling, it was used for, and it was also used for commenting about, today Calypso is used like for politics and for everyday living.
Wait, I wonder if around the Carrizo time, did they, slavery time, did they use that? If you ever heard they use that to like when they were planning the...
Yeah, it was used to like send messages.
When they prepared
so the master don't know what was going on.
Planning for the fire
planning for the uprising, whether it's in St. John, whether it was in with the emancipation event that happened, they would use Carrizo.
And I must say I commend you for carrying this on and teaching it. You're a retired teacher, and you still use your Carrizo as a way of teaching the kids about the culture. And this is what we need to. It's good to be modern, but you still can't forget your culture.
Where you come from.
When you know where you come from, you appreciate where you're going.
Exactly.
And because you know how it was then, you don't want to go back to that. So you want to keep it going and make it better.
Well, that's what I'm hoping that, I had many Carrizo singers before me. Like Blinky's mother was a Carrizo singer.
Okay. McIntosh?
Ethel McIntosh.
Okay.
And then we had one of the main Carrizo singers was Mary Catherine. And who told me about her was Pikey.
Okay.
Yeah, he had given me some information.
The saxophonist, and he was a teacher too.
Yeah. So he told me a lot about her. And then some other people mentioned a lot of the Carrizo singers that came before me, like Mad Andreas. You know Mad Andreas, right?
Yes.
That would be Yvonne Phillips. That's her grandmother.
Oh.
And she was a Carrizo singer. And played the instrument also.
Yvonne and Donna.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
But Carrizo, before I go ahead, Carrizo is not just it's kind of a melodic, like a melody type singing. Talking about the history, sending messages, telling stories, gossiping, all of that is a part of Carrizo.
Now, you mentioned some names when we was talking earlier, Cornelius and Johannes and all of those people. The Cornelius from La Valley and Johannes, you know some of the history.
Yeah.
Like
it just came out 2 years ago,
Yeah?
Yeah, about this particular, and you could find that information over by WIM, where I work.
Wow.
WIM Plantation. We call it now WIM Museum.
It was there, but nobody didn't discover it. What?
But what happened was, it just came out, a guy, I forgot his name offhand, but he came out and presented to the public the history of Venus Johannes.
Tell me about
Yeah.
it.
Well, people don't realize that a lot of people came from West Africa, the coast of Africa, through the trade, the Atlantic trade.
Yes.
Snatched away from their homeland and was shipped out to many Caribbean islands. And one of the islands that this particular person came to was St. Croix, Venus Johannes. And we have descendants of her living here today. But the story goes like this. What happened was she was snatched away from Senegal. That's where she actually came from. And when they took her, she was only 12 years old.
Okay.
They sold her around the Goree Islands, and she stayed at a warehouse. She was kept at the first floor, and below was kept other human cargoes. So I sing about that and tell people about the history through that. And a captain of a ship, he usually come to pick up the slaves
Yes.
that are being kept at the warehouse. And he saw Venus and fell in love with her and wanted to marry her.
And he was white, of
And he
course.
was white. And what happened was the owner of Venus loved Venus too and wanted to make sure that she was okay. And they told him, if you want to marry her, you have to give her freedom. And so he came up with the papers, and they were able to get her free, became a free
slave.
Well, ain't a slave no more, but a free black woman.
From slavery.
From slavery. And she would travel with him, and you could imagine she's seeing what's happening when they're picking up human cargo to carry them to different Caribbean islands. You could imagine them, she's seeing all of that. But she stayed as his wife in the cabin and traveled to many Caribbean islands. And one day, it was told that he needed money. And he had to end up selling her. And he sold her right here on the island of St. Croix.
Wow.
Just back into slavery. But she was a smart, intelligent, I had to say courageous black woman that she fought for her freedom. She had her papers. She had her witnesses, because they would travel with her. And she went to the courts of Denmark and presented her case.
Wonderful.
And she bore 3 children, and only one of the child, the baby and herself, was free again. But she still, again, knowing so courageous black woman, she fought for those children until every one of them were free.
And she stayed here?
And she stayed here, and we have descendants living right here now on the island of St. Croix.
Most of them Johannes. Everybody know the Johannes from La Valley.
La Valley, La Grange, and I don't know if you know Mr. Franklin. I think he just passed
yes.
for St. Patrick.
Yeah, for our town, Frederickstead.
Yes. He was a descendant of Venus Johannes.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, if you go to Wim Museum, he have written a poem about her.
Who wrote the poem?
Franklin, Dr. Mr. Franklin. And the James family, the Plaskett family, the Dyer family, all of them are descendants of Venus Johannes. And I try to create a story through singing to talk about this lady.
Well, we'll be right back. We'll be back in a minute with some of your chorizo and singing, and we're going to have some of the members from Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights going to play some drums for you.
Yes.
And
that's what happened in the sugarcane fields.
And you're the number
drumming and singing. And what number?
And you're number 10,
number 10 of the 10
Stanley and the 10 Sleepless Nights.
And the 10th.
Okay, we'll be right back after this. We're back with Cedelle Peterson. She's going to do a chorizo with Stanley and Mr. Larson. I don't remember your first name. What's your first? Larry. They're going to drum for her, and we're going to enjoy it. She spoke about the chorizo and the different stories behind it, and
And
You
this
know.
one is Clear the Road was done for Emancipation Day.
Right.
And I tell the story and I sing the song.
Okay,
I
go
want to
right
share
ahead.
that. Clear the road, you clear the road. Clear the road, let the slaves and pass. We going for our freedom. Hardship in the morning and suffering at night. No one ever help us, it is only Father Ryan. He bring we up from Africa, this burning land. He bring we up from slavery to the land called Santa Cruz. Clear the road, I am clear the road. Clear the road, let the slave them pass. We going for our freedom, going for our freedom. We don't want no bloodshed, not a drop of bloodshed. All we want is freedom, so give we our freedom. Come, let we go to town, let we meet the general. The general name is Bodo, he gon' give we our freedom. Clear the road, you clear the road. Clear the road, let the slave them pass. We going for our freedom, going for our freedom. The Governor Von Scholten, Governor Von Scholten, stretchy power till he crack and he write down our freedom. Clear the road, you clear the road. Clear the road, let the slave them pass. We going for our freedom, going for our freedom, going for our freedom, going for our freedom.
That was fantastic. That was great. Thank you, Cedelle. Thank you, Stanley.
Thank you for inviting
and thank
me.
you, Larry. This, I got this for myself. I've seen you all play so many times, but I could save this one. I don't have to play that one over and over. I got my own to play over and over. And I want to thank you all again and continue doing what you're doing for the community and the young people especially. And Cedelle, thank you for sharing. And I hope you'll come back again and share some more stories about the Carrizo and all what's going on. And maybe the Cornelia story.
Yes.
The next one will be the Cornelia story.
Alberta Roberts and Victor Cornelius.
Yes, so
I'll
we
share that
will
one
share
with
that.
y'all, yeah.
Again, all the members, I want to thank you, Hendrix, Edgy, and of course Sasha. She's gone, but Sasha was here, that young lady. And again, I want to thank you all for watching, and I want you to tune in to New Attitude USVI and subscribe to New Attitude USVI YouTube channel. Thank you, and have a good evening.